Member for Clark.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Police, Fire and Emergency Management. Minister, summer is approaching, with it a season for concerts and festivals. Minister, research by leading academics suggests that many festival goers exhibit dangerous behaviours in response to drug-detected dogs, including preloading, panicked ingestion, body pushing or stuffing, and purchasing potentially low-grade, sometimes fatal drugs inside the venue from dealers. Minister, do you agree with research indicating that amnesty bins can be useful in mitigating some of these very dangerous behaviours? And Minister, will you discuss with Tasmania Police how amnesty bins can be paired with drug-detected dogs at musical festivals and similar events this coming festive season to encourage patrons to be safe and to make good choices?
Honourable Minister for Police, Fire and Emergency Management.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Thank the honourable member for her question. Obviously, drugs are a scourge in our community, and this government makes no secret that we want to make sure that people young and old are not exposed to the dangers that drug use can bring. There is no safe amount, particularly of drugs in these kind of circumstances that people can consume. It is a dangerous thing to be doing. Tasmania Police is currently 32 officers dedicated to drug investigation, and as a result, the investment in additional police officers by this government, a Crime and Intelligence Command, was established in June 2020. That's a first for Tasmania. Mr Speaker, we want to make sure that drugs are off our streets, that people are not undertaking high-risk behaviours at our festivals, and it's really, really important that we continue to undertake that strong measure. Now, in terms of detector bins and other sort of methods, I have to say again, there is no safe use of any illicit drug, which is why the Tasmanian government does not support pill testing, for example. Testing services indicating an illegal drug is free of certain contaminants sends a confusing and risky message, especially for young people in our community. The government's focus is on keeping Tasmanians safe, which is why we're doing just that, why we're doing what we can to minimise the use of drugs through the right mix of justice and preventative measures so that we can reduce the harm right across our community. The government provides resourcing for a range of programs and organisations in this space, organisations who work to improve community understanding of the dangers of illicit drugs and support Tasmanians living with drug dependency issues. Some of these services include the Drug and Alcohol Foundation, who do fantastic work, the Drug Education Network, the Salvation Army and City Mission. The department continues to work across government on reducing the impacts and harms associated with drug use. There is currently limited evidence, for example, regarding the application of pill testing in an Australian context, and the potential risks, of course, of that kind of approach include pill testing in festival settings, typically involving testing of a small portion of a drug. However, the pills, of course, may not be homogeneous. There is no way to know how an individual's body may process the contents of these substances, meaning that what may not affect one person could have serious health consequences for another, and drug tolerance is specific to each individual and cannot be estimated. But Tasmania Police, of course, work closely with music festival organisers to ensure the safety and security of attending patrons. Extensive policing resources are provided to complement event management operations. This includes high visibility policing, the use of drug detection dogs, emergency response and traffic management operations, of course. The primary role of Tasmania Police is law enforcement, with a potential focus on preventing serious offenders who traffic drugs into these settings. The preferred approach for possession of small amounts of personal use of drugs is diversion. Offenders found in possession of small amounts of personal use drugs may be eligible to receive a formal caution or a diversion to a health-based intervention under the Tasmanian Police Illicit Drug Diversion Initiative. So as I say, Mr Speaker, our government makes no apologies for taking a strong stance on drugs, and nor do our law enforcement people, because we don't want people undertaking risky behaviour, particularly in these settings.
Honourable Member for Bass.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.